Hi everyone, my name's Rick, also as Watermelon over on twitch.tv, and if you are a queer or marginalized streamer like myself, you may have found that you are seeing a lot more of hate raiding and a lot more marginalized content creators coming under attack over recent days, which is terrible and sucks extremely. And I've noticed a lot of people kind of feel like there's not enough tools out there to kind of help protect them and their streams, which I completely agree with. However, I do think that there's some things you can do to help make sure that your stream is as safe as possible in terms of a hate raid happening whilst you're live. A lot of people have kind of guides and explanation videos out there already about things you can use like stream decks and things you can set up, which kind of like is a one-click button that helps kind of lock down your stream. But for people who don't have that hardware, and in some terms software, they feel like their options are a little bit more limited and they have to do things manually, which isn't great because when hate raids happen, they happen very fast. So you need to kind of be able to lock down as quickly as humanly possible. So I thought I'd quickly make this video which shows you how to use this software called MixItUp, which is a chatbot, and kind of use this to help create a very, very quick one command that kind of completely and utterly helps shut down your stream and gives you kind of the hopefully ease of mind that you need when you're live if this were to happen to you. Kind of a quick thing about MixItUp. MixItUp was a bot, I believe it was originally created for Mixer. However, when Mixer closed down, they kind of adapted to work for Twitch as well. It is a local chatbot, so it's not like Streamlabs or StreamElements, which sits in the cloud and allows you to kind of use websites to kind of change settings. This is a local chatbot, so you have to download it, and it works whilst it is open on your PC. So it's a bit of software that you have to open, and if it's closed, then none of the commands work. So you have to keep that in mind, but I think it's a worthwhile action to take in order to make sure that your stream is as safe as it possibly can be. A few things as well about MixItUp. It's very, very good. It's very, very powerful. You can do a lot of things with it that I don't think people really realize that you can do. However, it is powerful. It means you can do a lot of things. You can like open up external programs. You can pull in web requests from websites. You can do lots and lots of different things with just a few kind of commands. So you have to kind of be careful when you're using it. That's not to say you should be scared of it at all. It's a very, very good bot. However, it's also a little user unfriendly. The UI can be a little bit hard for some people to get their head around. Once you do get your head around it and you understand how it works, you can kind of fly through it and use it quite confidently, but it does take a little bit of learning, a little bit of understanding how to do it. Cool. So I'm going to show you a couple things. It's all going to be under one command. So the idea here is that we're going to create one single command that when you use, it kind of locks down your stream and you are in a kind of a safe mode for if you do unfortunately get hate raid or people come in to kind of deliver hate to your stream. There's kind of two parts to that command. There's a first part that's very, very simple and anyone can use. There's a second part that's kind of OBS specific, and I'm going to show you how to use it to kind of help quickly turn off your alerts. If you use alerts through a source system like in OBS, there are ways to do that without OBS. However, I haven't used them myself, so I only use OBS, so I can only show you how to do it through OBS. I think to set up, if you use like slobs or if you use XSplit, I think it's pretty simple to do, and it's probably going to be very, very similar, but I'm just warning you now, I'm going to show you how to do it with OBS. So if you use another program, you might have to kind of tweak around the settings a little bit and figure out some other stuff. Cool. So I think that's all the beginning tripe. So let's get into showing you what to do. As I say, I'm going to show you how to do it with OBS, and to make sure that this is working properly and it can talk to your OBS, you have to link them together. So when you download MixItUp, it will give you a setup process, and when you go through that setup process, you log in with your Twitch account. It also gives you the ability to log in with a bot account as well. So if you have a bot on your stream that kind of does all the commands and responds to any commands that people use in your stream, you can actually log in to MixItUp with that bot as well as your Twitch account and have them both be able to kind of communicate and respond to everything you set up. So once you've done that in the setup process, you will open MixItUp and you'll be met with a screen very similar to this. It might be a different color because you can change the color settings. So I just like the orange one. So you might find it's a different color, but it will be very similar to this. Now, if you want to use the OBS stuff, I'm going to show you how to do that really, really quickly. So in the hamburger menu up here, you want to click on that. You'll get a very big list of things you can do. You want to look for the section down here that says services. So when you click on services, it opens up another very long list of things that you can connect your MixItUp account to. There's lots of stuff in here. There's charity platforms. There are streaming software. There's Twitter, Discord, social media. There's loads and loads of different things. The one that we're looking for is OBS Studio. So you want to click on this bar here that says OBS Studio. I'm not going to click on it because it actually brings up a few personal kind of details. So I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to put that on video. But when you click on it, it will kind of drop down. There'll be a connect button. Just make sure your OBS Studio is open before you do it. Click connect and it will show you, it will take you through a small little process just to connect your MixItUp and OBS together. And once it's done that, it will say it's been connected. It will show you a disconnect button and you can also test it as well. There'll be a test connection button too. So once that's done, your OBS is connected. As I say, there are Streamlabs and XSplit and other options here as well. So I assume you can do the same similar process with those. So once that's done, we want to open that menu again and then go down to commands. So we want to click on commands, and this is where you can create commands in your stream. So yours might look a little bit different. Yours might look completely empty. You can categorize commands in MixItUp. So I've got two here. I've got ungrouped, which is like literally all the commands I use that don't have any grouping. They're just commands of their own. And then I have one here that's called Dragon Fairy. And the reason that is because I have an event going on in my stream at the moment called Dragon Fairy. So all the commands related to that are in this categorized section on my MixItUp. So as I say, yours might be empty, which is absolutely fine. The button you're looking for is right down here where it says new command. So I'm going to click on new command, which will open up this window. This is where we're basically going to build our command to help you protect your stream. So I'm going to take you through it bit by bit and hopefully you'll understand all of it. If you do have any questions or anything, please just either leave a message below or message me on Twitter, and hopefully I can help you through any concerns that you might be having. So you have a few things here. You have a name section. So this is just the name that is going to be on MixItUp. No one will see this, only you. So you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call this one Hate Raid. The next one is command group. So as I explained, you've got groups here. If you want to put it in a group, you can. This one already exists because I've already made it previously. If you want to make a new one, you can literally just type in a new thing. You could type in security or like moderation, whatever you wanted to. I'm not going to, but if you want to, you can. Cool. And then the third one is this section here, which is the chat trigger. So this is actually what you want to be in your chat, what you want to be typed after an exclamation point to trigger it. I would suggest it being something very short and sweet, like 2 letters, maybe even 1 letter if you can get away with that, because I think it needs to be something that you can type very, very quickly with no fear of getting it wrong, because you want to, as I say, you want to act very, very quickly. Now in MixItUp, there's a section here that says auto include exclamation point. So if you have that activated already, then you don't need to put an exclamation point in here. If you do put an exclamation point in here like that, then you will have to do exclamation point HR in your chat. So don't add that in. Wildcards is a feature of MixItUp. We can ignore it for the time being, as is unlock command. We don't need to worry about that at all. So we have usage requirements here. So in MixItUp, you can do lots of things to give people access to commands. So you can, everyone has like an inventory in MixItUp. So you can give people items, and if they have an item, that means they have access to a command. You can do it via ranks. Pardon me, you can do it via lots of different things. So what you can do here is actually, we're only going to look at the user role command here. We don't want to do anything else with any of the timings, the cooldowns. We don't want to put a currency on it. We don't want to do anything else. So what you want to do is you want to open up the user role and then choose a role that can use this command. I am going to choose mod. And that means all the mods in my channel can use this command. I would highly suggest you do the same. Some people might even not want to do that. Some people might want to do it just the streamer. It auto puts you on user, so make sure you change this, because we're going to be putting things into this command that allows you to shut down your chat, that changes things on your OBS if you decide to do that, and you don't want anyone being able to use that command, because it means people will be able to put your chat into sub-only mode, which you don't want. So make sure you change this to whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm going to put it as mod. You might just want to put it as streamer, whatever, it's up to you, but make sure you choose the one you want. We're going to go with mod. Cool. So once that's all set up, you'll have this big empty space here, which is absolutely fine. This is basically going to show all the commands that we make when we start adding actions to this section. So we have the action list down here. So when you open this, this is where things get kind of intense. There's lots of different options you can use here, and they all do things that change your stream or run a command or something. As I say, you want to be really, really careful. There are things in here, as I say, there's like external programs. You can set up MixItUp to kind of launch games if you want to, or other programs. You can have it show, pull things from the websites and like show things from different websites. So you really want to be careful, because you don't want it to do something that you don't want to do. You don't want it to pull up a website. You don't want it to launch a program that you don't want running whilst you're live streaming. So just be really, really careful. We're not going to use any of them. We're going to use some pretty straightforward ones. So fingers crossed that shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I'm just letting you know, just be careful. So the first thing we're going to do is actually clear the chat. The first thing you want to do is clear the chat. So we're going to find the moderation one, and we're going to add a moderation action. So this adds a little section here into this window. You can click on the bar here to kind of minimize and maximize it. And as I say, there's some pretty heavy actions in here as well. You can time out users, you can do purge users, you can ban them, all this kind of stuff. You can even mod people, so please be careful of what you select. We're going to choose clear chat. So we're going to hit clear chat, and it doesn't give you any other options here. This is just all it does, which is fantastic. It means that when you now run this command, it will immediately clear the chat. Fantastic, brilliant. So we're going to minimize that. The next one you want is to go to Twitch and add a Twitch action, which will add another bar in here. In this drop down list here, as you see at the moment, it says host. Again, you can do lots of different things here. You can literally host people, raid people, create polls, all this kind of stuff. So make sure you're using the right one. What we're going to do is choose stream marker. So what this does is it puts a marker on your VOD when you run this command. So basically, you don't have to worry about trying to find where it happened in your VOD. If you need to go back and look at your VOD for any reason, you can quickly find it. This is very optional, but I think it's a good thing to have, just because most people will probably need to go back and see what was actually like came through on chat, or see what actually came through on stream on the actual screen itself. So I think it's a good thing just so you can quickly find where it was. You can put in a description here if you want to. I'm not going to. You can also show that information to chat if you want to. Again, I'm not going to. I don't feel like there's a need to do that. So I'm going to minimize that. We're going to have two more actions, and they're both actually going to be chat messages. So we're going to scroll back into this action menu, go to chat message, and then add that one. So when you add a chat message, you can do several things. If you've logged in with a bot account as well as your normal Twitch account, you can send things as streamer or send them as your bot. If send as streamer is not ticked, then it will send as your bot automatically. But if you tick send as streamer, then it will send as you as if you had done the command yourself. So it's very important on the first one to make sure you send a streamer, because not everyone's bots are always moderators in their chat. But the first thing we're going to do is run a command. So in this one, we're going to do /subscribers. So we're going to type in /subscribers. And what that basically means is that when you run this command, it will act as if you have typed /subscribers in your chat, and it will turn on sub-only mode. So that means only subscribers in your chat are able to actually use the chat system. And this is seen as like one of the best ways to kind of deter anyone that comes in to kind of put hate in your stream, because it means that if they haven't paid money, then they can't chat. So there's that. So that's all you need to do on that one. You don't want to worry about whispering or anything like that. You can close that one and then actually add another chat message straight away. Again, this is optional, but I think it's worthwhile. This one I'm not going to do as send a streamer. I'm just going to leave it as my bot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in /me, so it does an italicized message in my chat, and then we're going to put in an explanation, basically. So I'm just going to type explanation here, but you can write in whatever you want. You can say, hey everyone, really sorry, we've had to go to sub-only mode because we have a hate raid at the moment, we'll turn it off soon, blah, 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 blah. You can put in whatever you want to put in there as a message in your chat, just so people understand what's going on. For people who aren't subs, they won't be able to chat anymore, and what they'll see on their side is they'll see the chat suddenly disappear, they'll see the fact that they can't stream anymore, they can't chat anymore, and they'll be very confused as to what's going on if they're not a sub. So it's worthwhile putting an explanation in. It's also worthwhile knowing that you need to make sure that this chat message happens after the clear chat command has happened, because if you put this before clear chat, then the explanation will disappear when the clear chat command actually runs. So make sure that clear chat happens first and then that comes afterwards. In the crux of things, that's pretty much it. A lot of people will think that that's done and that's fine and that's what they want. It means that they don't have to go and do it manually and take like seconds or minutes, like going around their Twitch stuff and turning everything off and turning it into sub-only mode and all that kind of nonsense. This just makes it so you can do one quick command in your chat. Everyone's safe, everyone's protected, and hopefully nothing comes through. And if anything does come through, then you can kind of work on that as it happens rather than still scrambling around trying to put your chat into sub-only mode and whatnot. However, there is a few other things you can do. So this is where the OBS stuff comes into it. If you don't want this, then you can probably stop watching right now. But if you do want the extra protection, which I think is worthwhile, then I'm going to show you how to do that. So what this can also do is turn on and off sources inside your OBS, which is very, very handy if you have alerts that show names, because 90% of the time when hate raids come through, people will try and follow your channel and they'll try and use TTS to put in very vulgar, offensive messages or follow with vulgar, offensive names. So what I find it best to do is to kind of protect from that as well. So what we can do in the action section here is we can go and down to streaming software and then add an action there. If you haven't connected your streaming software properly, you will find that there is a little like red message here saying you need to connect it. So if you see that, make sure you have it connected. Make sure that OBS is open. And always open MixItUp before you open OBS. If you open OBS, then you open MixItUp, then the connection won't always work properly. Open MixItUp first, and then open OBS. So you want to make sure that message isn't there. And if that message is there, then you need to go and try and fix that connection in the services section that I showed you at the beginning. So once that's all working fine, you'll have the streaming software option here. So it says default setting, but you want to change that to whatever you use. Again, I'm going to show you through OBS. If you use XSplit or Streamlabs, they're there. I'm sure that the process is probably very similar, but I'll let you figure that out. So we're going to select OBS, and then what we want to do is click an action on this list here. Now, again, you want to be very, very careful, because this is essentially all the different things you can do in OBS to change the way that your stream works. You can change scenes. You can literally stop your stream if you wanted to with a command. So you have to really, really be careful which ones you're choosing. What we're going to choose is source visibility. That's the one that we're going to choose. So you're going to click on that and it'll give you a couple of options here. So what you want to do is you want to do scene name. So this is the name of the scene that your source is inside of. So for example, I have one called stream starting, where all of my countdowns are. People can see the chat on screen. It's the screen where we're like listening to music just before I actually go live. So we have that is what it's called. It tells you right here it's case sensitive, so please make sure that you get the caps right, because that always screws me up. And then it does say it's optional here. I have found if I've tried to use this option without using this scene name, it doesn't always work. So I would say don't treat that as optional. Make sure that the scene name is in there. Once the scene name is in there and you've got it correct and it's all capitalized correctly, you want to find the source name. So for example, mine is stream elements alerts. So that is the source that I have in my OBS that basically plays a text alert every time someone follows. It will come up on screen with their name and say thank you for following. So that is what that source is in my OBS. Now it doesn't say case sensitive here. However, I have found that this, if it's not correct and doesn't match the capitalization and cases in your OBS, then it won't work. So make sure that it is mirrored exactly and it says exactly how it is. And then you'll see there's a visible section here. You can turn it on or turn it off. So what we want to do is have it off. So we want to leave it how it is there. And then basically it means when this runs, what it will do is turn off all of the sources that have your stream elements alerts in your OBS. So that if anyone has followed and if there is a chain of alerts waiting to go off with very offensive usernames, this turns it off completely and no one will be able to see that, which I think is worthwhile. It's also worth knowing that this obviously only works for one scene. And if you're like me, you have a fair amount of scenes. I have like a stream starting, I have a camera scene, I have the in-game scene, I have a be right back scene, all this kind of stuff. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to create a scene for each and every one of these. It's very easy to do. So all you have to do is click duplicate here and it will make another one. It will be exactly the same. These two will look identical. And then what you can do is you can just change the scene name. So I have one that's literally just called camera. So it's called camera like that. And then it's good to go. That means that the scene that has, the source stream elements alerts that is in my camera scene will now also be disabled. So what you want to do is when you want to go through and you want to duplicate and make as many of them as you need to, and just make sure that they're all covered so that it turns all of them off. I think what you might find sometimes is that MixItUp will only turn off the scene that you are active in at the time. So if it happens while you're in-game in your in-game scene, you may find that it only turns that one off. It doesn't turn off the ones that aren't active at the time. So keep that in mind if you are in-game and a hate raid happens and you hit the command and you go through it and then you decide to change to another scene for whatever reason because you're waiting for the hate raid to pass or something, you might find that you need to potentially run the command again or go into the scene and actually turn off the source manually, because it might not do all of them if you're not active in those scenes. It's just something to keep in mind. And that's it. That's essentially what you have there. Once you're happy with the amount of scenes you have, you can then just hit the save button. And when you hit the save button, it will just add it as a command there, and people will be able to start using it in your stream immediately. I say people, whoever you've set as being able to use this command will be able to start using it in your stream. I think it's really useful. I think it's really, really helpful for people who feel like there aren't, as I say, that many options out there for them to hit a button that helps protect their stream or helps protect their community. I think MixItUp is really, really good at allowing you to kind of create very, very in-depth commands with only kind of a couple of keystrokes. So I implore you to potentially check this out if you want to, and make sure that you are as protected as you can be. And yeah, if you have any questions, please, by all means, either leave them below. I'll try and get around to them, or message me on Twitter, which I'm pretty active on, and I'll try and get around to it. If you have potentially anything else that you want to kind of explore, or have any other queries, I might be able to help with it. And yeah, I hope this helps a lot. Fingers crossed. This isn't something that we have to worry about much, but it's definitely worthwhile having this at your fingertips, so you and your mods can quickly jump on any hate raids that do happen. So yeah, I wish you all the best. I hope you never have to use this, but if you do, then hopefully it helps protect you and your communities. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.